This is a DBMS question based upon ER diagrams. They are asking us which one of the following is used to represent the supporting many-one relationships of a weak entity set in an ER diagram. So we know that there are some rules in the ER diagram for representing different entities and the relations between them, and that we have mentioned over here, such as we have this rectangle thing for representing the entity inside which we write the entity name. For example, if you have an employee entity, then you will write that inside this box. So this is what we use for representing an entity, and for a relation between two entities we use this diamond box. So you will have two entities like this, and between them you will have a relation. Similarly, an entity has some attributes, such as an employee can have employee ID, employee name, salary, all those things. So for them, we use the oval symbol. And if your entity or your relation is weak, then for such cases, we use the double bordered, or you can say the bold bordered thing. Such as we have represented the weak relation over here, and here is an example at the bottom. There is a depends on relation between employee and dependents, which means there are dependents who are dependent upon an employee. For example, an employee may have its family members. An employee is having a unique employee ID, that is its primary key. But for a dependent, you cannot have dependent name or employee ID as the primary key, because it is possible that an employee has multiple dependents, or an employee has no dependents, or an employee has a dependent with a unique name. None of these things can be possible for independently standing out as a strong entity. So this dependent here becomes a weak entity, and the relationship which we use for representing such weak entities, the relation between a weak entity with a strong entity, this is what we call as a weak relation, and it is represented using this double diamond, or you can also look at it as a bold bordered diamond symbol. And this thing we already are aware of. If our attribute is a key attribute, then below its name we mention with a primary, the underline symbol for the primary key. Next we have, for if your attribute is multi-valued, it means if there is an attribute called phone number, then there can be multiple values for that. So for such attributes we use this double bordered oval symbol. And for the weak entity, as we saw just over here, the dependents, for that we use a double bordered rectangle symbol. And again, if your entity is composite, for example, the standard one which we use is address. It consists of street number and everything. So that's a composition of multiple attributes. So these are some of the rules for drawing the ER diagrams. And now what they are asking us, which of the following is used for representing the supporting many-one relationship of a weak entity set. So this dependent is our weak entity set, and for supporting it we have used the depends on relation. So this is the supporting many-one relation. And what symbol have we used for this? It is a double bordered diamond symbol. So the correct one would be diamonds with double or bold border. So A is the correct option.